Whether you're a beginning photographer or a seasoned pro, I guarantee you've experienced flow before. I've got 4 ways that we can recognize when we're in flow, and then begin to work towards accessing flow on demand. Sit back and relax, grab your coffee or tea, and flow with me for a minute. At one time or another, we've all experienced flow, but maybe it wasn't when you were shooting, but doing something like surfing or hiking or cooking. There are a number of flow activities, and the fact that you've been drawn to photography for some reason may be that it's a flow-inducing activity in itself. When you can begin to recognize some of the attributes of flow, even if it's after the fact, you can begin to figure out how you can recreate those flow moments when you're fully absorbed in the moment and you're feeling your best and performing your best. We have an easy way to remember this. STER, S-T-E-R. Selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, and richness. Selflessness. This is the feeling of when your self vanishes. We quiet our inner critic and the critiquing internal dialogue goes quiet. We are present but merely observing and being aware, not judging. You can hold multiple viewpoints and see them from various angles without our daily baggage affecting our decisions. There's no need for tips and tricks to quiet the inner criticism. Biology and neuroscience do that for us in our prefrontal cortex during flow. I've realized this more times than not in my landscape photography when a state of calm awareness comes over me and there's just a direct experience with the moment. Timelessness. In a flow state, we have the feeling of time distorting. Sometimes it typically speeds up, or sometimes it can also slow down. When we're in this timeless, deep now feeling, we have an enhanced awareness of the present. The part of our brain that keeps track of the past and the future gets temporarily shut down, allowing us to fully open ourselves to the present moment. This open awareness to the moment-to-moment experience allows us to process more information accurately and faster. Sometimes when I tell my wife that I'm going out just for a morning shoot along a hiking trail nearby, I'll get a call pulling me back to reality later, and I realize it's past lunchtime already and time just flew by. Effortlessness. The feeling of effortlessness is also associated with flow. It's not easy. Oppositely, it's when your skills match the challenge at hand, but it's just enough of a challenge that conquering it rewards you, which then motivates you to continue. It becomes intrinsically rewarding, which deepens your flow. It's an effortless and energizing exploration of the moment. In Taoism, they call this concept Wu Wei. Neurobiologically, flow creates a cocktail of pleasure chemicals that bring about these overall feelings of effortlessness. But this doesn't happen if you haven't mastered the basics of your camera first. The more you have to stop and struggle with getting the right ISO or figuring out where things are in your menu, the more you're being pulled out of flow. Richness. The 4th feeling photographers can feel in the flow state is richness. The flow state opens us up to receive a rich and deep experience of new information. It is simultaneously a feeling of comfort and awe. We feel like there is this new connection to the outside world. The thing is, though, we were always connected. It was our everyday filters that prevented us from fully taking in this rich and deep experience of interconnectivity. I would bet that after learning what flow feels like, you can relate to some of these feelings. Let me know down below in the comments if you've had a flow experience with photography and which feelings of stir you felt. Practice for flow. Now the trick is to learn how to access this state when you want to, not just by accident. As with anything, accessing these states requires practice. In photography, the difficulty level is pretty high, so more times than not, flow usually comes a little later, after you've mastered your camera or become comfortable in shooting in different settings. In the beginning, the challenge is too high for your skill set. After you've practiced photography for a while though, and gone through the initial learning curve, you'll begin to let the rules and structures go as your skills develop. You'll begin to intuitively make decisions without really needing to think about the next step. This is where you'll begin to find yourself in the zone more times than not, until you're fully comfortable in manual. Maybe setting your camera in aperture priority mode or shutter priority mode first will allow you to only focus on composition for a session. Giving yourself a strict limitation is another way you might be able to focus enough to enter some of those microflow states. For example, if you're doing street photography or in the woods, only focus on shooting images with bold shadows. Having a strict guideline will allow you to ignore all of the other distractions that will pop up along the way. And distractions kill flow. If you're interested in joining a community of like-minded flow-seeking photographers, come on over to photographicflow.com. To start paying attention to those moments in flow, try to remember the acronym STER, S-T-E-R. That's selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, and richness. We talked a bit about flow triggers, so if you'd like to know about one of the most important flow triggers that will affect your photography, watch this next video.